afternoon. I'm April Bragg, President and CEO of the Robbins Regional Chamber. On behalf of Houston County Habitat for Humanity and the host committee, I want to welcome you to our Home is Key virtual event with Coach Vince Dooley. Coach has graciously agreed to be our featured speaker for this event, sponsored by First Response Services for this incredible organization. This virtual event is quite simply for the purpose of inviting community leaders like yourself to learn more about the impact Habitat for Humanity has on our community and for more opportunities to provide more families decent, safe, and affordable home ownership. It's now my privilege and pleasure to introduce a man we all know and revere, Coach Vince Dooley. Vincent Joseph Dooley is the former head football coach and athletic director at the University of Georgia. During his 25-year coaching career at UGA, Dooley compiled a 201 77-10 record. His teams won 6 Southeastern Conference titles and the 1980 National Championship. He was inducted into the Georgia Sports Hall of Fame in 1978, the Alabama Sports Hall of Fame in '84, and the College Football Hall of Fame in 1994. And in 2019, the football field at the University of Georgia was appropriately renamed Dooley Field in honor of Coach Dooley. And now it is my great honor to present Coach Vince Dooley.
Thank you, April, and I am delighted to be here. Bill Coggin had asked me, I guess, 2 or 3 different times to come, and I was looking forward to coming to Warner Robins and to have the opportunity to speak. But the world we live in, this is virtual, so I hope it'll be all right. And I can't help but think about Bill because his wife was on our 1991 SEC golf championship team, and his daughter is a student, a very good student, an excellent student, a history major, which I particularly like because that is has been my love. So it's great to have that connection. I'm so impressed with Habitat for Humanity, and I think the biggest testimony is the test of time. And when you think that now it's been 45 years, and that during that period of time, over 1 million houses in the U.S. and some 45 million throughout the world, I think is a pretty good testimony to the success of Habitat. It so happened that it started in Americas, as you know, in 1976. And my last year as a football coach, I remember distinctly because we had started ours here in Athens about just a year before that, 1987, I think it was. And so they came to me and asked if I could put a team together. Well, that's easy for me because my whole life has been dedicated to team. And so we got a group together that was willing, and we went out and worked together. And it was just a great example of feeling good about doing something with the help of those that are going to occupy the house. It's a real partnership and teamwork. And that's, again, has been my whole life. So I remember very distinctly that happening here in Athens. Yeah, you bring the staff together, you bring volunteers together, you bring those that are homeowners together, and it really is a partnership. I know that there's been a lot of those that have benefited, particularly from this, and I have 2 examples that I'd like to point out to you. One is Malcolm Mitchell. Malcolm was a great player for us, was a wide receiver, and he was from Habitat Humanity. He was in a Habitat home growing up. And Malcolm went on and not only did he play great football here, but he also was drafted and was on the world championship team with the New England Patriots. He was in the Super Bowl and won it. But even a better testimony to Malcolm growing up in a Habitat home was that he has written a little children's book, because he didn't have the early benefit of good reading. And when he came to Georgia, he was way behind in class in reading. But he realized that, and he was disciplined enough to catch up, and now has even written a book, and he's going around having book signings, which reminds me that was the first thing we were going to do when I agreed to come. We were going to have a book signing, if you remember that, of my new book. Well, it's my revised book. I've got a book called the Dooley's Playbook, 34 of Georgia's most memorable plays. And this is a revised edition because it includes the Kirby Smart era, as well as some of the great plays under Kirby Smart, like the one-handed catch against Notre Dame and the run against Auburn for the championship, and then finally in the Rose Bowl. And so it's all the new people we'll talk about, like Rick Fromm from down in Houston County. So anyway, let's see where we want to go from here. I've got mentioned Malcolm, but I cannot fail to mention Deshaun Watson. Now, Deshaun he went to the wrong school. He was from Gainesville, Georgia, and Clemson just did a great job of recruiting him. He went there and became a superstar and also won a national championship for Clemson. But again, the great testimony and the fact that he was from a Habitat home is that you could talk to anybody in Gainesville, Georgia. Most all of them are Georgia fans or Georgia Tech, but they will tell you that he is a quality young man. So when you get your competitors who were disappointed that he went to Clemson, saying those great things about him, I think is a real testimony. So that's, I think, another tribute to the Habitat home. Houston County, and I have spent a lot of time recently in Houston County, certainly in Warner Robins, where y'all are located. I've been there many times with Robins Air Force Base and also with the museum that's there. I visited that. And one of my top football players, Jimmy Womack, the late Jimmy Womack, was a starter on our national championship team in 1980. Now, people will remember Jimmy Moore from blocking for Herschel Walker because that's what he did, and he did it extremely well. Also, Perry, Georgia. I've been going to Perry, Georgia every year for the last 6 or 7 at the agricultural center there. And they had the mistletoe market, where it's a great fundraiser for a weekend. And everybody in the community get together and provide money for various charities in Houston County. And I can't fail to mention Bonaire, that's also in the county, because Jake Fromm is from Bonaire. And Jake is featured in this book quite often, throwing the touchdown pass against Notre Dame and making the great block in overtime in the Rose Bowl. There's a tremendous painting by Steve Penley, who is a very talented artist that did that. So if anybody's interested in the book, they can contact you. You can contact my daughter, Deanna, and we'll work it out. Governor Sonny Perdue is also from that area. And the great thing about Sonny is that he walked on one of my first teams at Georgia. And we had a reunion not too many years ago when he was governor of that football team, like Bill Stanfill and Jake Scott, some of the great All-Americans. And then there's George Collins, who was an All-American from Bonaire, Houston County. And he also is a very successful high school coach. And then there's Deborah Roberts, who is with ABC, who is also from Houston County. So y'all have a lot of treasures down in the county, and I know this is certainly a point of pride. I wanted to also talk about the fact that this sustainability of 45 years, what really put it on the map nationally and internationally was Jimmy Carter and his wife Rosalind, because they saw early on that the values that they share is what Habitat for Humanity is all about. Human rights, treating people in the best way, and working together for that kind of a cause. And thanks to Jimmy, I just saw where they celebrated their 74th wedding anniversary. Now, Barbara and I just celebrated our 60th, and we thought that that was something. And then I read in the paper the next day that Jimmy is and Rosalind is 74 years and working on 75. So thanks to them, because they have really bought into Habitat for Humanity and been a national and international spokesperson for the wonderful cause. So I'm proud to be a part of that. Again, it's all about people working together, and that's what has impressed me. One of the things that Jimmy said, President Carter, I should say, I did have the privilege of knowing him, and I slip every once in a while. But he said this about Habitat. Habitat has successfully removed the stigma of charity by substituting it with a sense of partnership. And there we go back to building the community, people being involved and working together and having this good feeling about doing something great. I mentioned Barbara and I being married 60 years. We share a lot of values too, and I guess that's part of it. For instance, we both are strong with our faith. Barbara, maybe even, well, not maybe, she is more so than me. So you want to marry somebody that will bring you up to their standards. And I did it, and evidently you did it too with Marie. But nevertheless, Barbara is really outgoing, a little bit different compared to me. I'm a little more reserved, but sometimes she gets herself in trouble by being a little bit outgoing. I always tell her, I said, Barbara, if you just think 1 second, because if you have a thought, there's no filtering of your thought, it just comes out. Well, that makes her who she is, and I'm proud of that. But sometimes I grit my teeth. I was just thinking about the other day about sharing this faith and sharing prayer because we both believe in prayer. But when I was coaching, we prayed as a team, asking God to help us to do the best we could do. And then I figured that the rest will take care of itself. We would have to do the job on the field. Well, she never believed in that. She believed in praying to win. She thought somebody on the other side was praying, and she wanted to trump that. So we were down in the Sugar Bowl for the national championship. And I might add, this is the 40th year. It's hard to believe it's been 40 years since 1980 when we won the national championship. And this team is kept very close together. They were scheduled to do a reunion, but like a lot of things that had to be canceled, that was canceled this year, and they're going to do it next year. But nevertheless, it reminds me that we were down in New Orleans, Sugar Bowl, the night before the game, this wonderful crowd, Notre Dame officials and Georgia officials, and we walked in, and right away, Barbara spotted the very distinguished president of Notre Dame. His name was Father Hesburgh, a wonderful academician, well respected. And right away, Barbara had a thought. And before I could say anything, she had left me, gone up, introduced herself to Father Hesburgh. And then she said, well, Father, I know that you and your network throughout the country will be praying tomorrow for victory for old Notre Dame. well, Father Hesburgh, very distinguished, said, well, Barbara, my God doesn't have time for football games. And Barbara said, well, that's good because mine does. And fortunately, maybe somehow he did. But whatever had happened, it was a great memory, and we have been very fortunate to share the values. And I guess that's what has impressed me about this. Again, the value of trying to eradicate housing projects and get people with a sense of pride. And some of the individuals that I mentioned too that have grown up is a testimony to that. And so I want to thank you for giving me the opportunity to visit with you. I hope all of you will stay safe in this environment. Right now, we're hoping to play football. We've got it on schedule, and hopefully everything will go right. They're getting the best of attention, the best medical care, and they're abiding by the things that are necessary. So stay safe. God bless to all of you. And thanks for asking me to share with you my experience.
Thank you, Coach Dooley. It is always great to hear from you. And now you are in for a real treat. I'm excited to introduce Bill Goggin, Executive Director of Habitat for Humanity, Houston County, to share with you about the impact that Habitat has had on the quality of life for deserving individuals in our community, as well as some exciting plans for the future.
I thank you for tuning in today to our virtual awareness event. I want to thank Coach Dooley again for his inspiring message. April Bragg, thanks to you and the Robbins Regional Chamber for allowing us to use your platform. And I offer a special shout out to Dale and Janet Richmond of First Response Services for sponsoring this event. Houston County Habitat for Humanity is an affiliate of Habitat International. We're one of over 1,100 affiliates and 100 international affiliates. Habitat is a Christian housing ministry that bridges the gap between private sector solutions and government aid. We qualify homeowners based on need, income, and their ability to partner with us. We equip applicants with the tools that they will need to be successful homeowners. We coach and train these prospective home buyers in financial planning, home maintenance, saving, and budgeting. Since 1991, we've completed 62 homes and over 200 home repairs in Houston County. Using local volunteers, gift-in-kind products and services, and local donations, we continue to grow and serve Houston County residents. At Habitat, we offer a hand up and not a handout to working families who help build their own homes and pay a zero-interest mortgage at closing. This gives family partners valuable skills and a vested interest in their future success. Giveaways don't work and are not sustainable. We hold these mortgages in our office until they are paid in full, and this mortgage income pays it forward for the next partner family. Houston County Habitat homeowners have paid over $600,000 in property taxes. To date, in Houston County, we have never foreclosed on a home. The program is working. We take families from overcrowded conditions, unsafe housing, public housing, and unaffordable rents and move them into brand new homes that they can take pride in. Who do we serve? We serve essential workers in our community like public school parapros and food service workers, retail and hospital employees, daycare workers, and many others. Many of these jobs just fail to pay enough for a family to be able to afford home ownership. Through our Veterans Build program, we've built 3 new homes in the last 2 years for deserving veterans in our community. Last year, we built for Millie Pabon and her 3 daughters. She had served in the National Guard, and the family's home in Puerto Rico was destroyed during Hurricane Irma in 2017. She moved in with family members here in Warner Robins before reaching out to Habitat. She now has a brand new 3-bedroom home and pays a mortgage of less than $500 a month on a 20-year note. We're so happy that we as a community can provide the safety and security that a home can provide. Truly, the home is the key for better and sustainable futures. Our home repair program is called A Brush with Kindness. There are literally thousands of people with limited incomes that do not have the means or skills to make repairs to their homes. Imagine coming home from the hospital and not being able to get into your home. We resolve home accessibility issues through wheelchair ramps and bathroom modifications under our Aging in Place program. We provide dignity for low-income seniors by keeping them safe, warm, and dry. Habitat is there to bridge the gap. At our last housing application session, over 100 people attended. Our repairs program has a waiting list, and we have to limit projects to $2,500 in expenses. The need continues to grow in our community. Over the next 3 years, we'll increase our community impact by building 6 new homes each year and completing 115 home repairs over the next 3 years. We've recently located our offices and thrift store to the old food line at the corner of Moody and Fagan Mill Roads. We were previously located in warehouse space on Watson Boulevard. We now have 25,000 square feet of outstanding retail shopping space with great lighting, parking, and climate-controlled shopping. We take donated items, many of which were destined for the landfill, and turn them into Habitat homes. Over time, we will purchase more store fixtures, a new donations truck, and install new and better signage. The Restore will continue to provide needed funding for Habitat home building for many years to come. I'm speaking today not for myself, but for the families we serve and all the friends of Habitat in Houston County. There are thousands of you who have helped us along the way, and I give thanks today for our amazing volunteers, board members, staff, financial donors, gift-in-kind donors, our construction team, and Restore donors. If our stakeholders could speak, they would trumpet my comments because they know the Habitat story and the pride we all take in our community and the good works that are taking place. We welcome the opportunity to get to know you better. At this time, I'd like to introduce our Development Director, Cheryl Glover, and I want to thank you for listening in today.
Thank you, Bill. Hi, I'm Cheryl Glover, and I'm so pleased that you all are here participating on our first ever virtual event. And I look forward to meeting many of you once this event is over to answer any questions you may have regarding our program. I want to encourage you to please hang on just a few more minutes because we have 2 homeowners who want to share their journey to homeownership and how the Habitat program has transformed their lives. Our program is not made possible without community partnerships. And we want to say thank you to the City of Warner Robins for playing their part to help build 32 homes within the Wellston Villas neighborhood, formerly known as Old Town. And currently we are building in the city of Perry for a family of 3, and Ms. Shamira Jones has been looking forward to this moment for a very, very long time, and we're so happy to be going alongside of her with this journey. But without further ado, I introduce to you today Mr. Tom Tran and Ms. Teresa Ingram.
Hi, my name is Tom Tran, and I'm coming to you from a room I'm renovating in my house with the skills that I picked up at volunteering at Habitat for Humanity. And I just wanted to share a story about something that happened a few weeks ago. I was collecting the bones from a chicken that we had just roasted, and my wife was looking at me like, "What are you doing?" And I was collecting the bones to make a chicken stock. But it reminded me of when I was little and my mom worked at a restaurant, and she would often ask for the bones that they were about to throw out at the end of the night that they had used to make their own soup stock. She would bring that home and pick off all the meat, and that would be our protein for the evening. She was a single mom raising 2 kids, me and my sister, and she did everything that she could to make ends meet. She worked 2 jobs and she went to school at the same time, and to this day I don't know when she slept at all. And this probably factored into why she was so tired that one day when she walked us out to the bus stop, she forgot to lock the door behind her. A man went into the house and waited for her to come back, and he attacked her quite viciously. In fact, the doctors thought she would lose the use of her right hand for the rest of her life. She always knew that she had to get us into a better living situation, but this put a real sense of urgency on her timetable. So she reached out to all her friends and all the local churches, And that's how she found out about Habitat for Humanity. And so she filled out an application right away and sent it off in a brown envelope, because that was all we could afford back then, the envelopes made from recycled paper. And the story goes that the Habitat for Humanity Selection Committee was meeting for their very last day of that session, and they had basically already picked out all the deserving families for that year, when in the mail comes a brown envelope in a sea of white envelopes, and they thought, let's just open up this one last one. And it was, of course, our story. And as soon as they read it, they reached out to us right away. And they really made sure that in a very timely manner, they got us into our very own home. And this home gave us the financial stability and the safety and really the hope to get us to where we are today. I really believe that we wouldn't be here without Habitat's help. And I'm proud to come before you today as Dr. Tom Tran. I graduated with a degree in pharmacy, and I continue to serve the local community where I grew up. My sister, Kathy Tran, went to Yale and then went on to medical school. She is today Dr. Kathy Tran. And my mom, I'm very happy to say, eventually did regain all the use of her hand. She also went on to earn a degree in nursing and was recognized numerous times, not just by patients and their families, but by the hospitals and by the community for her compassion and dedication to patient care. She fought a very long battle with cancer, and I don't like to say she lost it, because even though it's over, she was brave till the very end. And I wish she could be here today to tell this story, because she tells it so much better than I do. And I just hope that this story just expresses a fraction of the appreciation I feel for Habitat for Humanity and for its members, who still not only keep in touch with us, but playing active parts in our life today. And so I just want to express my gratitude. Thank you.
Hello everyone. I would first like to thank Habitat for Humanity for allowing me to share my story. My name is Teresa Ingram, and I am a Habitat homeowner. I've been a Habitat homeowner since 2015. I would like to say I am the mother of 3. I have 2 sons and 1 daughter. At the time, my children were 15, 11, and 7. And I wanted to say I never forget how Habitat for Humanity changed our life. Habitat for Humanity had partnered up with Parish Construction as they were celebrating their 20th year anniversary. They did a blitz bill on my home. My home was built within 10 days. My home is beautiful. It is amazing. It is decent. It is affordable. And most importantly, it is mine. I would like to say Habitat for Humanity is truly a Christian-based ministry, and they truly do believe in putting God's love in action. Habitat for Humanity came together and they showed their love, they showed their support, and they showed truly how God cares about his people. Habitat for Humanity is just what they said. This program organization is not a handout, but it is a hand up. And I would like to thank each and every hand that pitched in to help build my home. At the time, I didn't think it was possible. I didn't think I would be able to become a homeowner. But truly, Habitat for Humanity changed my life. They gave me a different mindset, and they gave me hope. I was able to even name my house. That's why I named my house the House of Hope. According to God's word, Jeremiah 29:11 says, "For I know the thoughts that I think towards you, says the Lord, and those thoughts are thoughts of peace and not of evil, to give us a future and a hope." And truly, that is exactly what God did. He gave us hope. Habitat for Humanity gave us hope. Hope to know that as a young mother, I was able to become a homeowner as well. I thank God for the organization. As they pitched in, they helped me to get a budget together. They changed my mindset. They changed my life. I remember as a child, I told the Lord, Lord, I want my first home built from the ground up. And let me tell you, Habitat for Humanity made my dream come true. My house was built from the ground up within 10 days. Now my children have all grown up. My oldest son now, he's 20 years old. He's a successful Houston County firefighter. My baby son, my middle son, he is now 16. He's working as well. And my daughter, now she's 12, going to Perry Middle. But I just want to say, Habitat for Humanity, you have blessed my life. You have made this possible for us. And I just want to say, thank you for your ministry. Thank you for the organization. And thank you for a job well done.
Hello, I'm Dale Richmond with First Response Services. I'm so glad to be a part of Houston County Habitat's mission to provide housing opportunities and home repairs to our local residents. At First Response Services, we provide needed repairs and remodeling when disasters strike your home. We have been fortunate enough to be able to carefully salvage materials from our clients' homes and have them dropped off at the Habitat Restore. That was my first experience with Habitat. As I learned more about their mission and community impact, I began to get involved and offer more support. It makes sense as a home repair company that we can give back part of our proceeds to a ministry that provides life-changing results. I hope you have enjoyed today's Home is the Key awareness event.
Friends, thank you again for being with us today. While this is not a fundraising event, we hope that what you have experienced during this virtual event resonates with your desire to be part of an organization that is truly making a difference in the lives of individuals and their families in the greater Warner Robins area. We would love an opportunity to get to know you better and to learn about your goals and interests. We invite you to come for a tour at our new location on Moody Road, or even have a cup of coffee with you to get your feedback about our plans going forward. We'll give you a call to see if we can get together. And we'll be sending you a digital copy of our project book that provides more details about our plans to help more families enjoy homeownership. Thank you again for participating in today's event.